Yo, did you just hear that? Motherfucking Boosie is in trouble again. He just beat a case and then boom, he's back. Shit.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of ER.
He was like, "Thank God." He posted on Instagram. He was like, "Thank God, they tried to get me, and they can't get me."
West, it's 1090 Jake. When I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on
Merch. He got a Hellstar hat.
Boosie again, because yesterday I dropped a video on Boosie beating the feds, like literally beating the feds. Case dismissed, thrown out, whatever. He's good.
It was like a Rico case. Like he was gonna go town.
Down to Orlando, Universal Studios, 30 family members with him, flew the whole fam out. And then boom, we get the news that Boosie has been re-indicted. On July 24th, 2024.
What? Oh my! Oh my! That's how he sounds, man. Fuck, they did not get my man.
Boosie took to Instagram with his family at Orlando's Volcano Bay. This celebration vacation would come after his federal gun case was dismissed, but the feds just had to fuck it all up. Boosie would take to Twitter stating, "I'm on vacation with my family. My lawyer called me and said this federal prosecutor, M. Wheat, has indicted me again on the same charge and added a charge that I was a drug addict around a firearm. Shake my head. Why you didn't charge me with that the first time? The judges ruled at this point you're making this a circus. This has to be unconstitutional. This shows how far these devils will go to try and stop a successful black man with a voice. This man has a serious vendetta of hate against me. He wants to be a character in a movie. He just doesn't respect the courts. He's racist and has no respect for the courts. If I wasn't Boosie, this would not be happening to me. This same man looked at me and said, wipe me down on my first court appearance, LOL. He's obsessed. I've never seen nothing like this in my damn life. 30 of us on..."
Bro, so they re-indicted him just to say that he fucking was a drug addict with the gun. So they indicted him being like he was a drug smuggler, drug dealer, and rapper, racketeering gang leader. But I forgot to say that he was a drug addict with the gun. What the fuck? I said he had a gun, but I didn't say he was a drug addict.
On vacation, and I get this news. He put the hardest battles on the strongest soldiers. God got me. This man doesn't respect the law. Tell the president, pardon this bullshit. Justice for Boosie. Now this is devastating. News literally broke how Boosie was the first rapper and second person to have felony gun charges dismissed following USA vs. Duarte, where it was ruled unconstitutional to ban nonviolent felons from possessing firearms. This was hope to the more than 19 million felons in the US that actual reform may be coming. Because it isn't just about changing your own actions. You could become the greatest man or woman after prison and still be held back by felony convictions, preventing you from voting, renting, working, and obviously the right to arm and defend yourself. A felony is a lifelong scar that now former President Trump wears like many of us, and this may be the start of a new beginning. So how the fuck were the feds able to re-indict Boosie?
Yeah, how the fuck were they able to be like, yo, bro, actually, we're gonna get you again?
The charges were already
I want to know this.
On July 16, 2024, Boosie could be seen smiling on Vlad TV only 4 days after having his gun case dismissed. Over the next 3...
Hey! Damn. These dogs are crazy.
3 days more clips would drop, one of which Boosie and Vlad would address and laugh off the snitch allegations the internet tried to put on Boosie regarding his case. Not only did Boosie not have a co-defendant, he had a hired armed security guard whose sole purpose was to provide security with a gun. So I don't understand how Boosie telling the police that he didn't have any guns, but his security did, was snitching. Especially when Boosie hired the motherfucker because he
Bruh, he's being dead ass. He don't have any guns on him. He's not in charge of knowing who the fuck this dude has, bro. Dead ass. I'm not supposed to be like, yo, bro, you got a vape? Bro, like, that's what I'm saying. That shit's crazy.
legally has guns and does security. But the internet remains undefeated, and when Boosie's case was dismissed, they had no other explanation as to how he could have pulled it off except snitching. Well, here's the plot twist.
My dog Kobe kind of scaring me, man. He laid on me, and then he just like was ready to go to sleep type shit. And I'm like, bro, it's only about to be 10 o'clock in the night. I don't want him to get a little headache from the light. But he looking cute. Pause. He looking too sleeping. My baby. Pause. But he my baby. Chop. Let me hold you. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Fuck.
July 19th, the same day the video came out, federal prosecutors filed a new indictment charging Boosie again with being a felon in possession of a firearm for the same Glock 19 that he had dismissed, on top of a new charge for being an unlawful user or addict in possession of a firearm. The feds are now alleging that Boosie is an addict, as defined in Title 21 United States Code Section 802, which states, the term addict means any individual who habitually uses any narcotic drug so as to endanger the public morals, health, safety, or welfare, or who is...
Whoa. The term addict means any individual who habitually uses any narcotic drugs so as endanger the public morals.
So far addicted to the use of narcotic drugs as to have lost the power of self-control with reference to his addiction. So how the fuck does that apply to Boosie? Looking at his arrest, Boosie could be seen in screenshots recovered by San Diego police smoking a suspected marijuana joint. When the vehicle Boosie was riding and was pulled over, officers located a suspected marijuana joint in the center console of the vehicle. Being that this was in California, no one was charged with the joint, and it's unclear if the joint was even confiscated. It's also unclear how it's assumed to be Boosie's when 3 people were in the vehicle and Boosie was in the rear passenger seat, while the center console is typically used by the driver. United States Prosecutor Michael Gary Wheat is now alleging Boosie is addicted to controlled substances and was using controlled substances while possessing the Glock 19. Federally, marijuana is still a Schedule 1 controlled substance, along with heroin and meth. So instead of clarifying Boosie allegedly smoked weed in the legalist state to smoke it, California, Mr. Wheat would use his 30-plus years experience as a federal attorney to make it sound as if Boosie was riding around with a Glock smoking meth. Now, I'm interested in viewing how the feds will allege Boosie endangers public morals, health, safety, or welfare by smoking weed. Or how Boosie is so far addicted he's lost the power of self-control, because that's the definition of an addict the feds are using, so that's essentially what they'll have to prove. Even looking at Boosie's criminal history, he was sentenced to 8 years for possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, meaning he was selling, not using. He'd also be convicted of bringing drugs into prison after being caught trying to smuggle codeine. Now, it's well known that anyone caught with drugs requests rehab and will claim to be a user rather than a dealer because the punishment is less severe. But Boosie's criminal history clearly implies that he was in it for the money and not the high. So what about double jeopardy? Double jeopardy prohibits anyone from being prosecuted twice for the same crime. But apparently, it doesn't apply until the jury has been sworn in and trial starts. The feds have a 98% conviction rate because almost every case ends in a plea deal before trial, and because Boosie's case never made it that far, the feds are apparently able to not only charge him again, but add on another crime. It's a dirty game. Prosecutors have requested Boosie turn himself in by noon on Wednesday the 24th, or they'd send U.S. Marshals after him. Imagine flying 30 members of your family down to Universal in Orlando to celebrate your freedom. And while at the theme park, you get a call that you've been re-indicted and have to turn yourself into the feds immediately. Boosie's lawyer would file a motion to recall the warrant, which was granted, leaving Boosie with a court date on August 2nd. It's very possible they attempt to take him back into custody, forcing him to pay another 6-figure bond, and it's likely this case will take another 6 months plus to come to a conclusion. We'll just have to wait and see if Boosie is able to win his second fight against the feds. Now, this has got to be one of the most bullshit moments in hip-hop. You have the first rapper to win a Fed case based off of USA vs. Duarte, where they're saying, yeah, he's a felon, but he's non-violent. It's unconstitutional to ban him from firearms. And then you got this federal prosecutor who's been at this for 30 years that says, okay, well, we're gonna re-indict him for the same gun that just got dismissed, and now we're gonna add on that he's an addict because drugs and guns don't mix. So even if it's unconstitutional that he can't be around guns just for being a felon, well, we're gonna portray him to be a fucking junkie, and that way we can make this stick. But I don't understand how that works, because clearly using marijuana doesn't affect any of the things that they say in the definition of being an addict. And obviously, Boosie is very much in control. He has self-control. He's a successful rap legend who's constantly traveling for the purpose of business, collabing, performing, whatever. I haven't seen too many drug addicts at Universal fucking Studios. If you see a crackhead in the lazy river, 9 times out of 9, the ass gonna float off and die. You just don't see these type of things. So I don't understand how they're gonna be able to, oh yeah, look, he's a junkie, he's this, he's that. I just don't see it. And the fucked up thing about it, bro, is if Boosie didn't have $100,000 for a bond, he would have still been in the feds, locked up that whole entire time that he was out on bond with an ankle monitor. If he didn't have the money to afford Megan Blanco and whatever other lawyers he's got, he probably would have got fucked over on that first Fed case. That's the thing about having money. There are people that are only in prison because they did not have the funds to defend themselves. And the feds and the government, the state, they all know when you're dealing with a motherfucker that's got money, you gotta bleed them dry. And how do you do that? You make them fight and pay for a case over time in which they're unable to work. Look at YNW Melly. How long has he been locked up? Y'all think he still got the bread to keep this shit going? They're bleeding them dry. I don't see how this shit is legal. I think this is fucking ridiculous. Even if I didn't know Boosie or who Boosie was or whatever, I would still be like, this is bullshit. And I feel that a lot of motherfuckers need to come forward.
Fuck you motherfuckers, dog. I swear to God, I'm a good motherfucking entertainer. But I just haven't been entertaining nobody because I'm not gonna cap, bro. I've been slacking, bro. I've been slacking like freaking peas in the coop. But like,
And support.
you gonna see me back active in a bit. I'm just like dealing with shit right now. Honestly. Fuck. I'm sorry, this shit was dry.